Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of The I World. I'm your host, Brittany. We forgot to do that last week.
Did we?
Yeah, we didn't introduce ourselves. So if it's your first time tuning in, my name is Brittany.
My name's Talia.
And we're two sisters from Long Island.
That is so gross. Two sisters just navigating the
unknown life. On this episode, we're going to just do a little recap of the first 10 days of the new year.
Something like that.
Some things that are working,
ins and outs,
things that are working for us that we want to pass along to you. I feel like it's been an eye-opening new year, and if you have tuned in, you might already know this, but if it is your first episode, Talia and I have been going full-time with our content creator and like our businesses for the first time. We have been busy girls. We had a full-time job alongside a bunch of other things we were doing. And I have to say, guys, I'm sorry to say, but it is nice here in the non-9-to-5 world.
On this side of the... Oh, wait, that's not what you say. That's what you say when like someone's like... Right? Let's kick it off with some ins and outs for you guys.
Yeah, let's start.
Just what we've been loving, because I have been actually obsessed and addicted to romanticizing my morning routine. And I think I talked about this like a couple episodes ago, where I was just like, I was trying to throw like 20 million things and see what would stick, hoping it would all stick. And then when it wasn't all sticking, I was like when, we talked about this. So I've been slowly trickling in new habits by what we also talked about, which is habit stacking. There's actually, to give you guys a proper definition, I know we talked about it in the last episode, but Atomic Habits. I never read the book, did you?
It's a little bit of a slow read, honestly. It's just very analytical. It's not like a entertaining read, but I do have it if you want to read it.
I bought it, but I never read it, but I guess that's where this comes from. So habit stacking in the context of Atomic Habits.
It's just Atomic
Habits. Atomic Habits by James Clear refers to a strategy where you intentionally link a new habit you want to develop to an existing habit you already perform regularly. So that's how I've been introducing all these new habits I've been doing. So randomly, I came across this girl's page where she talks a lot about non-toxic stuff. And one of the new healthy habits I've been doing is revamping my oral routine. Instead of just brushing my teeth and calling it a day, first things first, and apparently this is the order. I don't know. She doesn't have any credentials to be saying this, but it seems like she really cares and she does her research, so I'm going to take her word for it. But first things first is tongue scraping. She said a copper tongue scraper. I have a metal one, and I think that's fine. Tongue scraping.
Ever since you told me you were doing this, I started doing it too.
And when do you do it in your routine?
Night. Should I do it in the morning?
I think you're supposed to do it in the morning.
Okay, why? Actually, I think I did it this morning.
But I think you could do it morning and night.
Okay.
Can't hurt. But I think of when you wake up from night, that's when your mouth is the yuckiest. So tongue scraping first, then oil pulling, which I knew about a while ago, but I think I did it once. So first I tried to do it with just organic coconut oil, but you know how coconut oil is a solid and
yes,
normal and room temperature.
So you're using Rejuvenate.
Yeah. And so I put a spoon in my mouth. Every morning I give a little bit of coconut oil to my cat and a little bit to my dog. And so I was like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna oil pull. So I put a spoon in my mouth, and chewing it was literally the most disgusting thing. Having to make it into a liquid. Once it was a liquid, I was good.
I don't really know what this oil pulling is. So you're talking to a kindergartner when it comes to this.
Let's say benefits.
But what do? You swish it around?
Yes.
Okay.
Of oil pulling for as long as you can. So I've been doing 5 minutes. But once it's in there, it's fine. It's just any other liquid. It's like mouthwash.
See, what oil are you using now?
So now I'm using, we'll put it up on the screen. It's called Guru Nada, I think. I think this is the one I have. And it's coconut and mint. But I guess for some, it's for your teeth, so it's a liquid. So it's you don't have to worry about, because I wasn't sure if you could melt it down, if that would affect the coconut oil or the benefits that you get from it. But it's supposed to help with whitening your teeth naturally, improves oral health, prevents cavities, fighting bacteria, prevents plaque, detox, fresher breath, tooth decay, gingivitis
Oh.
management. It's supposed to have a lot of benefits. My main thing was like teeth whitening, and then like if it's doing something good for me in here, awesome. So
Do you swallow it?
no,
Oh, okay.
No, you spit it out in the garbage.
Okay.
You can't spit it in the sink because it's like an oil. So you can't like spit it down a drain because you can't put oil.
Oh,
like,
I put oil down my drain.
You should not.
Why?
That like is bad for your house and like clogs the drains.
Okay.
Oh no. Do you really? Like what oil?
Yeah.
Like what kind of oil?
Whatever I cook with.
Oh no, that's bad.
Okay.
Okay. So then I spit it out in the garbage. So I swish it around for like 5 minutes and then spit it out in the garbage. Then you're supposed to go mouthwash and then you brush your teeth.
Really?
Yeah. That's what this girl said.
Okay.
And like I don't remember why she said it, but I was just like, okay, like if you're going to tell me to do it, I'll just do it. Let me just say my teeth have never felt cleaner.
They actually do look really clean.
Do they?
Yeah.
They feel clean. And I just like love
They do look really white.
I'm loving my morning coffee more and more every day, and it's like scaring me that like my teeth are just going to become like yellow. Okay. So that's why I'm trying to like really combat it. And just like doing things that are better for my health. So in a sustainable way. That's the key. Sustainably introducing habits. Then I posted on my story about castor oil packs, which is something I want to try. Apparently there's so many benefits. I posted and
wow, that's a lot of responses.
Yeah, someone said it will definitely give you the runs doing a castor oil pack. So it must be some sort of detox. Somebody else gave me thumbs up. So I'm assuming that's good. Someone else said they did them for a long time, but they felt no different. They were trying to help with bad periods. Then someone else said, I use them and I love it. You can use it for all different parts of your body. So beneficial. Then someone else said they're the absolute best. So many benefits. I tell everyone about them. So I'm like, it can't hurt to try. It either is going to do nothing, give me a little diarrhea, or it's going to be great. And then I was going back and forth. You actually know who it is. Not that I can't say who it is. But she messaged me and was going back and forth. And, like, she's apparently been on this whole, like, non-toxic journey. And then she sent me, like, a red light. So I'm going to start introducing, like, red light therapy.
I want to do that. Can you send it to me?
Yeah. Because I saw them online. It was, like, thousands of dollars. And I'm like, I'm not spending that. Like, I can't find it in me if I, like, don't even know if it's going to be good for me. But it's also supposed to be really good for your skin and, like, eczema and stuff. So I'm going to introduce that. Like, I got a little stand, so I'm thinking, like, maybe when I do my morning routine, like, I can integrate that in. Because I just think the key to happiness is a good morning routine.
I agree.
It just changes everything. Then I started doing warm water with half a lemon and a little bit of honey first thing. Because it's usually I was doing first thing was coffee, and I don't know if that's really good to be, like, the first thing in my stomach.
I actually remember seeing one time, and I don't know totally like the answer to this, so maybe we'll come back next week with like the science behind it, but I remember watching a live video of somebody talking about like the law of attraction, and they were saying how drinking a like basically a bottle or a big glass of water, like room temperature, first thing in the morning is like you need that for your body, like the magneticism or something.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I have to like, I just was watching it on an Instagram live one time, but it was like two experts talking about it. So I have to see why they said, but you are supposed to have water first thing in the morning. So when I first get up in the morning, I have my energy stick first, which is like water with the energy stick in it. But I have been drinking water first thing too, and I keep water next to my bed now.
Yeah. Also, because my skin has been so dry, like oiling it first thing in the morning instead of like waiting till after night. It's been a cold shower household for me because lately I can't even take like a warm to hot showers are irritating my skin this winter. So trying a new soap and taking cold-ish showers. But I know there are benefits like for your body to taking a cold shower too. So I'm just like gaslighting myself into thinking like that's why I'm doing it. And then beef tallow. There's so many things I'm loving. Beef tallow for my skin. So I'm doing like vitamin E oil and then beef tallow on top. Loving that. And trying to think of what else. My gratitude journal. I've been loving doing that. Every single step of my morning routine I've been adoring. Like it's just been every day it gets better and better and better. That's all I can say. I look forward to waking up so much more. The only thing I got to work on is just getting up a little bit earlier.
Me too. That's the same thing for me. So can I pop over
You
now?
can pop over.
Yeah. So I also have a great morning routine, and I also just need to get up earlier. And I actually did on my page a New Year's like 5-part series to becoming like your best you, basically. I think I called it your 2025 glow up guide. And basically it was like 5 tips to having a glow up this year, and I do truly believe it starts with your morning routine. That was something that I changed last year. I never had a morning routine before. I never even had a skincare routine until last spring. So I tried, like I had these products, I would try to use them, but I never like, first of all, I didn't really understand it, but like second of all, I started to see my skin aging and I was like, I don't like this. So I started doing a skincare routine really because I started to see more like fine lines and wrinkles and stuff in my forehead. That's what prompted it. But having the morning routine, and I'll tell you guys exactly what I do every morning, and I do it in order every morning, has been amazing. But a lot of it did start with doing my skincare, which Talia has been trying to get me to like do forever. You were lucky if I even like washed my face every day before. No joke. First thing when I wake up, I drink some water. I get up. I usually, if my dogs don't wake up with me, which normally they do, like they'll hear me as soon as I step foot out of my bed and they start barking, then I'll come downstairs and I'll let them out. But I try to get up, brush my teeth, and put my contact lenses in. And if I can sneak it in before they start barking, I do my skincare routine first. Sometimes I do flip-flop this with coming downstairs, letting the dogs out, and then making my energy stick. And I love to have my energy stick. I did say this in my series that like, it's not something that gives you like the jitters. It's not like drinking, which it depends on you. Like if you're somebody who drinks coffee all the time, like you might not feel this way. But for me, drinking coffee would like give me a headache and then it would give me like a crash. So I would get hyped up from drinking coffee because I didn't have it every day, but I didn't really like the like end of day crash that it gave me. So every time I would be like, it's not even worth it to have it. And then it also would kind of give me like a stomach ache because of like the dairy.
She'd be like, should I get a coffee? I'm like, no. She's like, I'm gonna get one. And then she's like, I have a headache.
Yeah, a headache or a stomach ache. It's just like not for me. But I also don't really like energy drinks either. And I know they're not like really the best for you. So having an energy stick has so many benefits in it. Like it has caffeine in it, but it has other things. And for me, it just gives me like long-term energy throughout the day. Now, as I've been drinking them, I now have to drink like 2 or 3 of them to get the same effect. Like I'm on my second one, I think, or my third. No, my second one, and I feel the energy. But like with my first one, I wasn't feeling that way.
I feel like my coffee is more like for the vibes than it even is for the energy.
It is also for the vibes, the energy stick too, and it's just about having the routine. That's what I kind of said like in my series, which is like a lot of this is just about establishing the routine. So like with your skincare routine, it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you just have a routine. And it is really the like romanticizing your morning that just gets you off to a good start and at least sets you up for success. Because sometimes like I think we can all understand the feeling of like getting out of bed late, rushing out the door, or just feeling so unproductive. Like if you're in your pajamas all day and you're like, I literally did nothing today, and it's not a good feeling, especially if we want to be successful this year. So if you're looking to be successful, like you want to set the day up for success. I'm also a big gratitude journaler, which we did talk about in detail last episode. So I'm not going to like go too into detail with that. But for me, it is energy stick. It's gratitude journal. It's doing my skincare routine. I'm making my bed. Making my bed is, you have to make your bed. If you're not doing that, it's like the easiest step to implement in your morning routine. Do you make your bed?
Yes.
And then
actually, I mean, if Al's tuning in, not always me. He makes it more.
Okay. But it's such a good like feeling. And also you like when you get into bed at the end of the day, getting into a made bed is just so different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also am with Talia that like my 5th step for my series was waking up for the sunrise. And it's really hard because I am not an early riser. My body like naturally will wake up at 9:30 a.m.
Do you have a nighttime routine? Like, do you take any steps at night?
Not like my morning routine.
I take 0, and I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
I just realized.
Maybe that's something that we need to start to implement because I do have I do the same thing every night in terms of like, but it's like some of my habits are really bad. Like sitting on the couch for hours watching TV, like that's my unwind, but it's like too much. I do shower every night, so like that's part of my routine. but like it's not a great routine. It could be better. I don't even
I don't
do
have
my
anything that's like romantic about my nighttime routine. It's
right.
really just like abrupt and just like
Stay up until exhausted.
yes.
Yeah, same.
It's like stay up until I can't keep my eyes open, and that like fucks up your circadian rhythm or whatever.
And that's why I feel like we don't get up early enough.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not. It's like if I want to get enough hours of sleep, I need to wake up later, but like I have to start at night.
Right.
I'm compromising my morning by staying up too late. So obviously the key to like a good morning is going to be.
So that's something that we both have to work on. But when I did get up for my series to film and I saw the sun rising, I was like, wow, this is worth
Well, that
it.
was like when we went to that place and we did the
yeah.
Yeah, we should do that because that was like, it just feels like little kid vibes. Like
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my God, like
Literally.
we're up so early. If it's not windy, I would do that again with like a plunge, like a little polar plunge. But when it's been so windy, I can't like get out and be like exposed.
Yeah. It's still like it's literally January. So
Yeah, but that's what like a polar plunge is, right? It's like when it's cold out.
well, to each their own.
Brittany said she's gonna do it.
So yeah.
Another in is Abercrombie sweatshirts.
Is that an Abercrombie sweatshirt? Oh, cute.
They're the coziest. I think I've worn this too many days in a row. It's so cozy. I'm obsessed. I constantly like shower, put it back on, shower, put it back on. Like I just am obsessed. And this color specifically, I'm obsessed. Brittany wants to tell you about how she went to Trader Joe's for the first time and how she's
Yes, actually.
stepping into her housewife era.
Housewife. Kind of going back to like the beginning of this episode, talking about how like we're home now. I have never been home this many days in a row. So like another part of my routine that was not great is I would eat out a lot. So I'm like spending a lot of money on food and I'm not really eating the best things. And it's like a very bad habit in my house. Like I'm trying to break Tyler of it because like.
Well, it's hard when you're not on the same page. If one person's eating out and you're cooking, it's like, oh, maybe it is easier to just.
Yes, it is easier to fall into the bad habits. But one of the things that saves me is that we don't really like the same foods. So, like, a lot of the time we'll eat different things anyway. But I was just eating so bad, so many meals in a row that I became more aware of it because before it would be broken up by a busy day. So it's like, okay, well, I don't have a lot of time, so let me grab something quick before going to work. And then I would eat at work and I'm just like, well, I'm just going to get whatever's around here. And then come home and I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm just going to pick something up. So like you could just eat more junk food because it's just more about like the routine. Being home, guys, I'm not even joking. Like I was actually telling Tali we should talk about this and we were kind of like, how do we even talk about this? But if you have the opportunity to like build a career for yourself where you can be home, I truly think it is like the solution to life and happiness because it's only been, what's today, the 9th?
The 10th?
The 10th when we're filming this?
Yeah.
So it's only been 10 days of the new year, but it feels like it's been a whole month. Whereas like in the past, I would say like, I can't believe it's already the 10th. Like time is flying by. You get so much of your time back because
you get to be way more intentional about how you spend your time and your days. And that goes into like cooking your meals and everything like that. It doesn't feel so draining.
Right.
Like if I came home from a long day work and then training and then I come back, I'm like, the last thing I want to do is have to cook and then do the dishes. Like I can't even think about that. So it's like, okay, then we'll just pick something up because I'm so tired. So having that time and like that freedom, like in the morning, I feel like I keep writing the same thing in my gratitude journal, but it's like I keep writing that I'm so grateful for like my new schedule and like my freedom and that I'm so grateful for my creative brain.
Yeah, well, it's good to be repetitive with those things anyway because then you're attracting more of that. But like I only worked like 30 to 35 hours a week. So it's not like I was working like 60 hours a week. Like sometimes my husband works 100 something hours a week. I literally was working 30 to 35 hours a week. Like it's not a lot, but it disrupts your whole day. It's your whole schedule unless you're really good about getting up early. And like we did have like a late start to our day, like where we worked didn't even open until 11 o'clock. Sometimes I didn't go until 1. But like because of that, because I knew I wasn't going until 1, I wouldn't even get up till 10:30. So it was just like such a bad routine for myself. And now having so much more time, I can be so much more productive with my days.
I will say there are pros and cons though, because learning to manage your time when it's just up to you is difficult.
Yes.
So I don't think I've perfected that yet. And I think, again, it has to start with like before, if I had to be somewhere at a certain time, it's like, okay, I have to get this stuff done before this time because I have to. Whereas the flexibility, becoming more like disciplined is a little bit more difficult. I mean, thankfully, like the gym is that like stamp for me, but I still like my schedule of like when I used to train. So I do train later. So it's like I need to, or like when it comes to filming content and stuff like that, like I need to do stuff like before the sun starts to go down and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that it has its pros and it has its cons, but I think the cons are really like we can work around them. It's not.
It's just
like,
about learning. Like we're only 10 days in, not being so hard on yourself. Like if you haven't like perfected your New Year's resolutions yet, like that's if you're working into getting in a new routine this year, like it takes time and it might take us a few months to really get into a groove.
Not me. Yeah. Speak for yourself. I'm not putting that out there.
Oh.
Months is crazy.
No, months is crazy, but like for me, I'm just thinking about like everything that I want to do. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to like take what I'm doing already and then also add in like a good workout routine in there. And like there's just so many things I've never done before that like I'm really excited to have the time to do. Especially right now it's January. I don't even want to leave the house, but imagine it's the summer. Like I can't wait to be home in the summer. I can like go to the beach. I can sit by the pool. Like I can be outside while being productive. Like a lot of what we're doing
you're not
now
even ready.
can be, you're not ready.
You're not ready for the summer arc.
The summer arc, I can't wait. The summer arc is like, you guys might be waiting for the summer to let loose. Like, I'm ready to grind in the summer.
Yeah.
But back to what we were saying about my first Trader Joe's. So now that I'm home now, I want to eat better because I noticed I was eating really bad, like day after day. And this is what I was telling Tyler, like, we don't need to be 100% healthy on some kind of crazy strict regimen because I think that's not really like, then you kind of get burnt out from that. Yeah. But like for us to just make healthier choices, like even as a couple, like I'm like, I want to start working out together. I want to start like eating together more meals because it's not even just about the food. It's about like the quality time. Like we never sit down and eat dinner at like the dinner table because we're so like, for me, it was like, oh, well, I'm eating dinner and I was working all day. I want to watch TV, but I don't need to do that anymore. Like I don't need to feed my need for watching TV and decompressing with eating. It's like kind of like a bad habit for me to have anyway, because then I just sit here for hours and do it. We went to Trader Joe's. I actually wanted to go because I wanted to get flowers, which I made like a bouquet building thing on my Instagram, and it's really cute, and you guys should go check it out.
I love how Brittany's always throwing in her
my other channels.
Promo.
Yes. But I wanted to go for that reason, and then I was like, I want to try to get some food, but I don't really know how to like food shop for myself in a healthy way because, to be honest with you, like my mom would cook for us and growing up and was so like, you know, had her things of you know, healthy eating, but we were like definitely restricted on things. And then when I went to college, I had a meal plan. I would eat basically out, like you're not sitting cooking for yourself. So I had a meal plan, or I would eat at a restaurant near whatever. And then after like 2 years, I got an apartment, and that's when I started cooking for myself. And when I first started cooking for myself, everything was like on a budget. So I would just get stuff that was like cheap because I'm like, well, I only could spend like $400 a month on
a lot.
Yeah.
College kids.
Yeah. So I had a budget from my mom because I didn't have a job. I actually had a job. I was a church school teacher, and I would work once a week, or once a month, or twice a month. Yeah, fun fact about me. And I think I would make like $50 for the day, and I thought that was so good. I literally make $100 a month, and that was my job. But I was like, I think I had like a budget of like $400 or something a month that I could spend on food. So I had to.
If you think about it, if like you food shop and that's the only way that you're getting your food, it's really doable.
Yeah.
But if you're eating out,
you spend that in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another reason why like I'm home now, and the way that I'm making money is different than it was before. So I do want to be a little bit smarter with my money, and just like I just would spend frivolously because I was never, which I'm not scared that I won't have it, but I just am learning this new routine for me. I'm not, you know, I cut out one way that I earn income. So I want to be smarter about how I'm spending my money. I want to be smarter about how I'm spending my time, and I want to be smarter about what I'm putting in my body. So even like the things like I'm cooking with, like I got the ghee, which is like it's a clarified butter. So it's like a better thing to cook with than like Talia made fun of me, I was like, have Pam, and that's what I would.
Which I'm pretty sure is like the fucking worst thing ever.
But
I was
I'm
like,
so
Brittany, what?
I'm so used to like budget
Yeah.
buying. So like when I go to the store, not that I'm so budget friendly anyway, I feel like I always spend hundreds of dollars at the grocery store, but that's how I started learning. So when I was in college, I would go to the grocery store and I would get stuff like Kraft mac and cheese and whatever, because I'm like, oh, I could have a whole dinner for $2.
It's just also what you see. Like, you see Pam is known. Like, it's like, like, oh, that's your cooking oil.
Yeah.
Like, you have to relearn. Like, nobody, like, knew until recently, like, at least I feel like on social media, like, it wasn't talked about until recently, like, what ghee even is.
Yeah.
I
think
like,
a lot of people don't know what it is. So it's like I am trying to like lean a little bit more into that like non-toxic life, but I'm not like fully submerged yet. Like there's a lot of things that I know that I use in my house that I need to stop using. Like I have like Glade air fresheners.
I was literally just thinking that, because that's like a endocrine disruptor or something like that.
So I have those, and like I know that that's not good. I know like I use Lysol to clean, like it's not the best cleaner. Like my laundry detergent, like I use Arm& Hammer, which
That's
I think
what
is
I use.
it's a good
I think it's
one,
fine.
but like I'm not like super enthralled in this yet. But
So
like
when I was talking to that girl, she said that something that she does, instead of feeling like you're getting overwhelmed by all these things, is when she'd run out of something, when she went to replace it is when she would find a healthier alternative. And then slowly you just start trickling in, and it's just like way more sustainable. So like she's like, okay, I finished my laundry detergent, I find a new one. I finished my hairspray, I find a new one. I finished my, whatever.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of why, like, when we went to Trader Joe's, I had Talia come with me so that her and Al, her boyfriend, could help me, like, find things for me to cook and eat, because Talia always would make such good food and bring it to work, and I always wanted to eat it. It smelled amazing. So they helped me, like, pick stuff out, but even when we were shopping, I was like, I'm not shopping to be, like, my healthiest self right now. Right now, I just want to learn what I like to eat. And then like what I like to cook. And then once I do that, then I'll make even better choices. But first I need to just get into cooking at home and liking to cook at home. So
did you use the pesto at all yet or not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And another thing too is like for dinner, I made steak.
It looks phenomenal.
It was really good. I made a New York strip steak, I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah. In New York strip steak, I had zucchini, onions, like grilled, and I made pasta. And when I ate my food, I ate my vegetables, then my steak, and then I left my pasta for last, and I had maybe a bite of it, and that was it. And I did that like intentionally because I really like didn't want to eat the pasta, but I felt like it was going to be missing. Like I wanted to have it, but I wanted to kind of fill up on the other stuff that I knew I should have been eating first before doing that. So it was really good, and I have been like pretty good about not eating out the last few days. So that's definitely a big in for me right now. Cooking, eating at home.
I think once you start that journey, it becomes fun. Like trying new recipes and stuff like that. Like my current hyper fixation is sweet potato fries. And I also want to try, it kind of sounds weird, but sweet potato fries with cinnamon on them. Because I know it sounds weird, but it's like a thing some people do. And Brianna does it and she recommended it. But it's like so easy. And I just like cut up sweet potatoes into like thin little strips. I spray them with avocado oil, salt, pepper, garlic, and I think I do like a little bit of this like lemon butter, some other seasoning. And then I just throw it in the air fryer. And then I prep like that for the week, and then I just have that like as a side with stuff. So that's another thing that could be like fun for you to try out. It's just like prepping something that you know you're going to want for the whole week. If it's like a hyperfixation, so you know you're in it. I am like kind of anti meal prep, which I talked about many moons ago in the beginning of this, because I start to hate the food that I'm eating, and then I never want to eat that again because it's just disgusting to me. So I can't overdo the same meal over and over. So it kind of also is like, okay, what am I in the mood for? I don't want to like sit and think like I have to eat that because I made it, and then if I don't, then it's trash and like I wasted ingredients. So meal prepping ingredients over meal prepping meals is in for 2025. And just being smart about your food shopping too, if you're just starting the journey like Brittany, where you're not just like going and buying a bunch of things. Go in with like a kind of idea of like, okay, what do I want my protein to be? What do I want my sides to be? And then what do I want for breakfast? And if I wanted a couple snacks, what could be some healthy snack options that I could have? So I think that's a good way to kind of like go into the grocery store. Definitely use Pinterest and use that to like come up with ideas. But I love TikTok. I go on TikTok and I look up like meal ideas, and then I find some things that I like and save them. And it could be catered to whatever your goals are. If you're trying to get more protein in, if you're trying to, be a little more clean, if you're trying to find low calorie meals, or if you're bulking, you're trying to find high calorie, like high protein, whatever your goals are. And go into the grocery store with a list. I always have a list.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to add having a grocery list to my to-do list for when I go. And I also want to add in having like a workout routine in my week. Start maybe with like 2 or 3 days a week so I don't like crash out. Because
well, it's new to me too. I mean, yes, I do jujitsu, but like when it comes to lifting weights and everything like that, which is like a normal person's workout routine, it is all very new to me. I'm still navigating it, and I hate it. I do not like it. So I'm doing it because I know that like the athlete in me needs to perform best, to recover best, to be strong. But like it's hard to go to the gym and like want to do that.
I also need to add in having breakfast every morning, because that's not something I do consistently, but I want to.
What, do you like breakfast foods or no?
No, that's the problem. But
It's tough.
But like the breakfast food I like to have is like a bagel, but it's not like good to have that every day. Like I think I could have that once a week or twice a week, but I shouldn't be having that every morning. And for a while I was having that every morning, so it's just like not the best. It does so play into the romanticizing your morning thing, because like one time I made like pancakes for me and Tyler, and it was like so cute, and pancakes with bacon,
it's like you're
and whatever.
in a literal, like you're just in a movie.
Yeah, but that's what we want our daily life to be. Yes, but not like for every day. Like,
okay, well, next time you make pancakes, you should make my protein pancake recipe.
Yeah. Did you post it?
It's in my carousel I just posted.
Oh, with the ingredients?
Yeah, it's the second swipe.
Oh, good, good. And I'm plugging myself all the time.
No, it's my favorite. It's because it's easy. Like if you complicate things too much, you're not going to do them. So I just throw it all in a blender, and then if I don't use all of the like batter that I made, I just put it back in the fridge, and then I can use it the next day. So I wouldn't leave it in there too long, but you could do that. Also, like you don't have to have breakfast foods for breakfast. Like I'll do steak, and like I'll add eggs sometimes, which is steak and eggs is kind of like a breakfast thing.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I've been liking, like, this sounds like weird healthy vibes, but like broccoli, like with egg whites and making it an omelet. Like it's weirdly just, if I burn the broccoli a little bit and then I do the egg whites and the cheese, it tastes really good.
Yeah.
So I've been like having fun with that. I've been having fun with all of my meals. When you're not like racing against time, it's fun to like try new things and experiment.
Yeah, I was worried that I wasn't going to like being home all the time, but I actually love it. Like I was worried that I was going to feel so lost. Like sometimes I would feel like even on my days off, I was like, what a waste of a day. And I do have my days where I'm like, I really could have spent today better, but I'm really loving being home and really loving my social media journey. Me and Talia, I feel like have really been stepping it up on our social media, because now we have
compliments.
Yes. Yes.
Very rewarding. Like there's people, like I went to pick up, if you're tuning in, hi. I went to pick up Goku from the groomer, which it's his best haircut he's ever had. Like I looked at him and I was like, oh, I'm obsessed with you. I'm going to eat you up. And she was like asking a question about the lighting and stuff like that for our podcast. And I was like, I would have never known like that you tune in to the podcast, you know? It's just like gives you that little bit of like validation and encouragement that like I'm not doing this for nothing sort of vibe. Same thing, like I was at training the other day and some girl said to me, did I tell you? No, I didn't tell you this. Did it? No, this was yesterday. What's today? Oh, this was on Wednesday. So I was walking off the mat. Some girl I've never seen there before. I saw her like one other time before. And she was like, oh, by the way, like I love your, did I tell you this?
I think you did.
Oh, I did tell you this. That she like loves my vlogs and stuff that I post. And I was just like, dude, like that literally makes my life. Like that makes me so happy because I love doing it so much, and it makes me feel like, okay, people are actually consuming this, people actually like it, and I'm literally not wasting, like, it's not just for me. I would do it just for me, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Like, obviously we both are very passionate about social media, so I feel like knowing that like we're creating something that has value is like the most rewarding part. Like,
Yeah.
I have been literally doing a deep dive into like, okay, how can I make my content like more valuable and more like it's just something that I enjoy doing, so I don't get burnt out with it. And I have been learning. Talia actually started me with this because she got me this content creation planner for Christmas, and then like she put me onto this girl, Julia Broom.
I think that's the last name.
Yeah, I think it is. Her Instagram, and I have been like learning so much, and like I just realized that if you're listening to this and you do social media or content creation and like you just feel lost and you need a little bit of like a direction or a guide,
Structure.
yeah, like a structure, like it kind of can feel, especially when this is linked to your income or your job, like I am trying to make this my career. And like I've been able to do that effectively, but as the years go on, like social media changes and you have to change with the time. So if you're still doing in 2025 what you were doing in 2020, you're not going to have the same results. You need to change. And I feel like that is the thing I see the most with the people I follow, is that they are not evolving with the times. Like they're posting.
People you follow?
Yes.
Wait, like influencers you follow or just people you know?
People I know,
Oh.
Influencers I follow.
Really?
Like,
I feel like why are you
what?
confused? I feel like everyone I'm consuming is like
well, we might follow different people. Who are you talking about?
like people I don't know, like random ass influencers.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about random ass influencers. I'm talking about like the people I know that are like from network marketing and things like that.
Okay.
You have to find the balance between providing value and like doing the things that are going to capture people's attention, because I think as the years go on, people's attention span gets shorter and shorter, and you need to like be more.
Well, like that's like hooks
Right.
in 2025.
Exactly.
Who would have thought?
Right.
I need to give you a hook. This is not like I feel like an English report is like you would say like, right?
Right.
Remember talking about hooks and stuff like that?
No, but
She's so rude. She wants to move on to what she wants to
No,
say.
it's just I'm trying to remember what I was saying. So it's like finding the balance between that stuff, like being intentional, and then you being the reality show. And I think so many people are like in the reality show of their life, but like you want new followers? Like you're still talking to the same people for the last 5 years. Like you need a new market. You need a new audience. You need to find like something that I've been doing big time is like if I follow you and you post something, my friend actually told me this, and it's such a good, like, it's such an interesting thing. If you follow somebody and they post either like an engagement picture or a baby born and like you don't know them, unfollow.
That's such a hot take.
But it's like if you don't know them and like like it's just the perfect time to unfollow. Sometimes you follow people who don't post a lot, but they'll post for things like that.
I know, sometimes I feel like sometimes I'll go through and I'll be like, okay, I need to unfollow some people.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like I'm just like I want to change what I'm consuming.
Right.
Right. So I want to like change my feed to like more motivational sort of vibes,
Right.
right? So I'll go through and I'll be like, I'll even go to the first thing, which is like the accounts you least interact with.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, oh, sometimes I feel
They're like your
bad.
friends from
I
like high school and
know.
stuff. The thing is like you have to unfollow
But then I'll go through and I'll be like, let me see if they unfollowed me already. And sometimes they have. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. Why'd
But the
you
thing is
unfollow
because
me?
you post a lot. So a lot of people
Yeah.
use Instagram just for like posting pictures of them on vacation. And like there's no shade to that, but that is a group and a demographic of people who use it like that way, like more socially. And for us, we use it more intentionally. So if you're somebody who uses it more intentionally, but you're only following people who don't, there's no way you're going to be creatively inspired. So I started going to my Explore page and just scrolling through. And I've actually found others.
I scroll through my Explore page more than I scroll through my feed.
Yeah. And when I find, like, I especially love to find smaller creators like me, like under 10,000 followers, who are making really good content, because I just feel like the engagement's going to be better. Like I'm seeing a lot of people like that following me too, where like I'll get a follower and I'll go to their page and I'm like, oh, I really like their stuff. And that has changed ever since I changed my kind of content. And I'm not just posting something for views. I'm not just posting things that I know are going to get views anymore. And instead, like if you look at my page, this whole past month, most of my likes are under 100 likes, which is not normal for me. I normally always have over 100 likes, sometimes over 300 or 400 likes on stuff because I have almost 10,000 followers. So to get under 100 likes is weird. But I've noticed that like my engagement's better. Like when I go live, people are hopping on more.
Because she's posting for the people.
I'm posting more valuable content and I'm posting things intentionally. And
we really need to do an episode about this, about creatives and about social media and about our hot takes on that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't keep going. I'm just saying maybe save the good stuff for that one, you know?
Well, anyway, a big in for me, basically, since this episode is really ins and outs, is that like being intentional with my social media, and I've been following a lot more people that I just really love their content, that I would want to consume it all the time, instead of just like following people because like, oh, I was friends with them 10 years ago. It's like, if like we don't have like a relationship,
it's just one person feeling bad to unfollow the other. You guys probably both feel bad to unfollow each other, and that's why you're still following.
Right.
That's the only reason.
So that's really been a huge thing that's been like consuming my time this year, is just getting into a groove with that. And then like I've been using all of that knowledge and like pouring that into my team for my network marketing business. And that's been really like feeling valuable for me. Like it's making me feel valuable because I'm able to take everything I'm learning and then share it with other people and help them. And like I genuinely do like want the people that I care about to make good content. I have so many friends that I'm like, I want to see this. I want you to talk about this. I want to follow a series where you're doing this. So I think people just don't, it can be overwhelming, but doing the like work, it is worth it. I feel so happy I did it. And I just feel like I'm getting, like Talia said, like I'm getting more recognition for it. I'm getting more like compliments on my content. And like that does feel really good. Something that I have been seeing a lot, and I've shared with Talia, but I'll share it on here too, is that I have been seeing everywhere that it is the year of the Gemini. And we are both Geminis.
Oh, I didn't know. Did you tell me this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's the year of the Gemini. Like,
what does that mean?
It just means that like when they did when all of these people who I've seen on TikTok and that I follow like talk about like whose year is 2025, it's Geminis.
Well, you know what? I wrote on my 2025 little list that's hanging on my fridge I made a list that was things that I wrote it in the tense of that they already happened. And I wrote that we were going to go viral on our bridal club account, and we're going to book a ton of weddings from it. So there's more to come. We're abundant and we're open to more and more and more. But one video, it hit. And it's like we're getting followers and we're getting a lot of likes. And it has over 1,000 shares and over
1,000 saves too.
Yeah.
And we had like 300 followers and we have like 500 now.
It's growing.
Yeah, it's growing. So yes, I've been seeing everywhere that like this is the breakthrough in your career if you're a Gemini. And I've also been seeing a lot for Geminis that it is what? The aesthetic mix with jujitsu makes me so happy because for 6 years I've searched for this, but no one gets it. Oh my God. See, that's the validation. Wait, let me read that for the camera. Guys, this is the exact validation. Little Miss Talia, who's scrolling during our episode.
I'm not scrolling.
Said someone commented on her post, the aesthetic mixed with jujitsu makes me so happy because for 6 years I've searched for this, but no one gets it.
Like, rip my heart out, throw it in the fucking shredder.
But that's the validation that is like the breakthrough, like what we're doing.
That's the way I like it.
That's the like it's clicking. It's clicking. The universe and us clicking.
Like this. I'm gonna be the universe and Brittany's gonna be us. The universe. You're supposed to say us.
Us. Oh.
The universe.
Ow, your hand hurts.
That makes no sense.
Us.
Wait.
Also, what's in Aura rings. Or
the one viral is getting them sicker. Wait, can I tell you a crazy story that happened yesterday? So
wait, but were we done talking about the
year
Gemini?
of the Gemini, tell me.
It's a breakthrough in your career, but I also saw for the year of the Gemini that they're like some relationships have to end. And that like if something's not feeling right, it has to go. And like the people have to go. I've been seeing that a lot, just saying, now you can talk.
Oh, okay. Well, send me this so I can listen to it.
Was making them sicker.
Going viral is making them sicker. Like, what? So I was yesterday.
Wait, did you see that thing of that video of Ice Spice? Somebody. Well, there's so many, but it's like her just like freestyle, and she's like, and then someone making fun of her. It's like
when I'm making a poopy.
It's like
when I go on the potty, I'm making a poopy.
Yeah, literally.
to
Like
me.
that.
So yesterday I went to the gym in the morning, did the most difficult workout I've ever done in my whole entire life. The movements I didn't hate, but the coach was like having me do higher weight, and like it literally wasn't even that much weight, but the way that I could.
It was probably Coach Al Percy, right?
No, it wasn't.
I'm
It's
kidding.
if it was him, I would have been like, I can't do it, and he would be like, okay, let's go. No, I was literally like, I was like this, lifting up 20 pounds. Like, I couldn't fucking move it. Like, it literally was like, my arms were fucking shaking. But it's like all these different movements. It's not just like doing this, right? So it was the literal hardest workout of my whole fucking life. I wanted to jump off a bridge. But anyways, then after I completed it, I was like, okay, I feel good. I did something that was difficult, and like, I'm not going to get muscles just like sleeping, right? Later on in the day, I come back for wrestling. And I don't usually take this wrestling class. First off, the guy I was drilling with was like the sweetest angel pie ever. Like, he was like very gently like putting me on the ground. Like he was like we were like picking each other up, and then he was just like
You pick yourselves up?
No, like he was like, yeah, for the takedown. Like he was like, you pick the person up. And
for
then,
wrestling?
Yeah. And
really?
then instead of like coming down with me, we're just drilling. He was just like placing me like so gently, as if I was a feather, like this, like floating to the ground. It was like the sweetest thing. And I think the kid was like, he was like a teenager. Like, it was just so sweet and like kind. But anyways, that's not the hot take. So then we're going live, and I am no crazy wrestler, guys. This is my first rodeo when it comes to wrestling. I've just started taking wrestling classes like once a week, like a couple months ago. And it's not even like the most consistent thing about my schedule, but it's like pretty much once a week. So I went to a different wrestling.
What's like the big difference between jiu-jitsu and wrestling?
In wrestling, there's no like submissions. It's just takedowns.
So is it the same thing, but it's just called something different?
No, there's no like holds. So like there's no tapping. There's no
in
chokes.
Wrestling?
There's no, yeah.
So how do you win?
You pin the person.
So you just pin them and you're like, I won.
Yeah, you like hold it for 3 seconds. Or I'm still learning the rules because it's like different rules. I don't really get it. So like I'll do stuff in wrestling class like you're not supposed to do because it's like not jiu-jitsu. Like clasping your hands around them when they're on the ground. You're not allowed to do that.
What's the point of taking wrestling?
Because you can wrestle in jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
You can't do jiu-jitsu like in wrestling so much, but you can wrestle in jiu-jitsu, if that makes sense. Like,
okay.
So it's an essential part of jiu-jitsu. Like, you need to know how to wrestle. There's nobody else has a partner because of me being me. I like just didn't get a partner fast enough, and then there's only one other person. So that's on me.
Is me being me mean people don't want to be your
No,
partner?
no. That's me just like being like I should have been more assertive and like I should have gotten a partner faster. Where are you going?
It's cold.
Cold?
Yeah.
Oh. I just like didn't get a partner fast enough, so it was just like one other kid. And so sometimes that like frightens me, especially when I don't really know what I'm doing. So anyways, I was like, do you have a partner? And he was like, no, I just need a breather real quick. And I was like, okay.
The teenager or someone else?
No, this is someone else, right? So I'm like, okay, right? So he takes like 3 deep breaths and then shake hands, right? So then we're going, and the way I'm standing, he's like, is that like Greco-Roman stance? And I was like, so first off, I hate when people talk to me when we're training. Stop, right?
Okay.
So I've talked about this. So I'm like, what? And then he's like, that's that like Greco-Roman stance. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying, but okay. So I just said what, and then like I just ignored him. Then we keep training, and then I was actually like, okay, it kind of is good that this guy is not good because I'm not good at wrestling either. So it's like giving me an opportunity to like work my takedowns, right? Because like wrestling is way hard, does not come as naturally to me. It's way harder for me. Like my brain takes longer. I was able to take him down a couple times, right? Then I take him down and he goes, first, let me give you a visual for those watching. This is what we're doing. We're standing, and he's going like this. And he's, like, stomping, like, galloping at me a little. And I was like, okay, I have no clue what's going on here, but, like, I'm just going to ignore this. So, like, you're going to make fun of my stance, but then you're going to be galloping. Okay. Then I take him down, and he goes, how old are you? So I go, what? So me hoping, like, me saying what is gonna give him, like, don't, like, I don't want it, like, I heard you. I'm saying what, so you just shut the fuck up. So then he's like, how old are you? And I was like, 23. And he's like, I'm 19. And I was like, okay. Like, in the middle of the round, right? So I'm like, this is just so fucking weird.
Is he saying, like, you're being too, like, rough
I have
with
no
him?
idea.
That's the Talia
But,
effect.
like, my age? What does that have to do with anything?
maybe-
You're a grown man.
Maybe he thinks you're more experienced.
So then he goes, then I take him down again. Then he goes, you got some experience, don't ya? And I was like, no, not really. Like, I mean, in jiu-jitsu, like, I've been training for a couple years, but, like, I don't even think I answered him. So I didn't give him an explanation. I was like, oh, I don't know. And then whatever. So then class ends and I was like, wow, what an odd experience. Like, I don't really run into a lot of, like, creepy or weird vibes with men in the gym because, like, everyone knows I'm dating Al. So, like, that just gives me kind of, like, my...
That's really why you started dating him.
Yeah, just for the safety net, right? So then class ends and I'm grabbing my stuff together and then there's this guy, I feel like I could just say, he doesn't give a fuck. So this guy Yams, that's his, like, nickname, is sitting over there and the guy's talking to him, right? So then after he leaves, I go over to Yams and I said, is that kid, like, what's up with him? Like, he's really, like, what is his deal? And he goes, Talia, you're never going to believe what he just said to me. And so I'm like, you're kidding me. He goes, yeah, he comes over to me and he goes, yeah, I was wrestling some chick and, you know, I was taking it easy on her. And he goes, and Yam saw me before class go into wrestling. And he goes, Talia? No, you fucking weren't. And then I was like, oh, at least someone has my back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what? Well, like, what? And then he's like, you were not taking it easy on Talia. Talia fucking is coming for blood. Like, he was basically, like, saying that, like, me and Yams, like, go at it when he's, like, using effort. So,
Yeah.
like, I didn't take it, like, he didn't take it easy on me.
Right.
Right? So for him to, like, first off, go out of his way to say that to some random guy, they're not friends. So, like, for him to go over to Yams and, like, say that about me, like, there was some chick, and he's like, that's also not some chick, that's Talia. Like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, it was just so weird. The vibes were so weird. I was like, you're kidding me. You're fucking kidding me. This wackadoo? It was just, like, it was like, I felt like I was in a movie. That's it. What a strange experience, but a great opportunity for me to work some wrestling.
So, guys, also, we need your help because we are implementing a new section of this podcast. We talked about it on the last episode that we were going to do it, but it is now live, where we're going to actually put the link in our Instagram bio so you guys can submit questions, comments, concerns, things like that to the to participate in the pod. And it's going to be called the Big Sis Chat. And basically the concept is we're going to be giving you life advice, whether it be you're having relationship trouble, friends trouble, family trouble, if you want career advice, lifestyle advice, anything like that, please head over to the Big Sis Chat because we are going to spend, like, this probably later half of our episodes reading and answering any of those questions here for you guys to see. I feel like Talia and I are both pretty good at giving advice. And if you like, you know, our takes on things and you want to get it for yourself.
Yeah, we could do it for you, even if we don't know you.
So we definitely want you guys to head over and do that. Every week you can submit questions. So just whenever you're thinking of it, whenever you're tuning into this episode, after you hop off, feel free to head over if there's something going on in your life that you want help with, guidance, or you just want to vent. Even if you just have a funny story.
You just need validation.
Validation, if you want to have a funny story, anything. Feel free to leave that in the Big Sis Chat. This week, Talia did put a question box on her Instagram story, and she did get a few questions. So we will wrap up the episode answering those as our first Big Sis Chat of the podcast. Take it away, Tal.
All right. So the question I got here, and we will leave this anonymous, is how do you manage your emotions against bigger people that are bullies during a role? So I think we can take this as life advice, or we can take this because there's just bullies in life, right? Or we can take this for jiu-jitsu. For jiu-jitsu, I think the managing emotions part of it, I've just gotten better with time. But how I would handle the situation would be, personally, I think I would just avoid training with those kinds of people because you have a choice. You don't have to. And if they come over to you and they're like, hey, do you want to go this round? I would try to keep it kind of lighthearted, and I would just be like, I don't know, man, you're kind of like always doing the most when we train, and like it's like, you're like a bajillion times bigger than me and it hurts. Like, it's not fun. And just try to keep it like a little lighthearted and just be like,
You said you have someone like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
did I say that?
Yeah.
I do have somebody like that, and I've said this to a couple people. One of them I was like lighthearted about. The other one I was serious about, and I was like, you're like a jerk when we train, and it's not fun for me. So if you're not going to be an asshole, then yes, I'll train with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people be very receptive to this. The person that I was serious with I couldn't have asked for him to handle it any better. He was like, oh, like I genuinely didn't realize that I'm like that. So like, give people the benefit of the doubt in that sense, is they might not realize that they're being a jerk. So communicate to them. And I've even communicated like in the middle of rounds. Like if you're ever feeling like very, very uncomfortable or unsafe, like you are able to get more comfortable with communicating that, and not thinking of it like you're not allowed to say something, or like it's such a big deal if you say something. Like it's not that deep. Like
It's also like a better route to go to say it to them, instead of like how girls act about Talia at the gym, where like they think that she's like too rough or whatever, and then they just like exclude her and bully her and are mean to her.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, just say like,
something crazy that happened recently. Also, something crazy that happened recently was on New Year's. All the girls in the class got together to take a picture and didn't include me. And it's never felt more like high school in my whole fucking life. So that was evil. But they actually said like somebody was saying something about Madison. Like, are you sure you want to date Madison? She's friends with Talia. And I was like, you know what? I'm flattered at this point. Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So
No, hold on. Ladies, I don't know if you watch this shit. Maybe we can clip this for the stories. I just don't understand. Like, is this... I'm getting angry in my big sis chat right now.
because you're trying to make it that people don't want to be friends with me now.
But it's like, okay, it's one thing. Like, you're there to do a sport. I am not even an athlete. I'm not a jiu-jitsu person. But, like, if you are signing up to do this and you just don't want to do it with this one person, why are you, like, making it her whole identity? Like, just because maybe you don't want to train with her because she's going a little rougher than you would want to go.
Whatever the reason is, who even fucking knows?
What does that have to do with, like, how you make somebody feel outside of class? Like, what is actually fucking wrong with you? I want to go to this fucking class so bad.
Yeah. So anyways, that was crazy that happened. So I've had people handle this actually like surprisingly well. And because I said this to them, have been able to train with these people, and it's pleasant, or way more pleasant. So give people the benefit of the doubt there. They might not realize that they're being an asshole, and if they are not receptive to it, then you just set that boundary that that's not somebody you want to train with. And I think that even if somebody starts off as a jerk, as we develop on in our jiu-jitsu careers, we become more in control of ourselves, more self-aware and everything like that. So there also will be people who might start off as a jerk, but then they develop in their jiu-jitsu and they're way more controlled and they're way more fun to train with. So my advice on that is just communication.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah. The other question is tips for training if you have really bad cramps and how to get rid of them. Honestly, sometimes my period takes me the fuck out, and I'm like sometimes really bad, like to the point where I'm on the bathroom floor hysterical crying. Like I get really bad periods. But as for training, if they're like not like the type of cramps that take me out where I'm immobile, Aleve, try that. And like Advil's a scam, Tylenol's a scam.
Why is that a scam?
It just, they don't work for me.
That doesn't mean they were scam. I love Tylenol.
But I'm assuming if you're asking me that you've tried Advil and Tylenol.
Okay.
Well, that reminded me of a little hack that I've had lately for my life. If you're somebody who sleeps alone and you haven't before, so if you've gone through a breakup recently or a lifestyle change, like right now Tyler works nights, so I sleep alone most nights, which I hate because I have not slept alone for years. Sleeping with a heating pad, it feels like a person. It feels like
Enjoy-
having a little buddy with you. Yeah, it feels like
I go through
cuddling.
phases like that.
I
But
just
mine's like for 3rd-degree burns, like because I need it. Like I
Yeah.
need one on my back and my front. That's how bad it is.
But I just do that even if I don't have cramps. Like I just sleep with a
Is
heating
that
pad.
good for you?
I don't know, but I just do. I just sleep with a heating pad like every single night now. Because it just feels like, because I also don't like to sleep with the heat on because it gives me a headache. So I sleep with like either the air on or nothing on, and I sleep with the heating pad so it gives me the warmth. I wish that I had like, maybe there are like heating systems like this where you could like turn it on from your bed, but mine is old, so my heat.
Mine, I have like a remote, so like Al sets a timer.
Oh, it's
so
so
it
good.
goes off right before we go to sleep, and then it turns on right before we wake up.
Yeah.
So it's like perfect. So in the middle of the night, we're not sweating.
I literally can't wait for well, I don't want to manifest that because I don't want to have to get a new heating system, but like that's so nice to have to
My
have.
other piece of advice on that would be like, you will probably, if you can get through it and like start live training, you'll probably feel better after. I know it sounds like, well, I feel like I can't even move, but you'll probably feel better after you do the movement. So just try to push through. And Aleve, power through. I wish I had more advice. I do get really bad periods, so I totally understand. I really try not to skip training unless it's like taking me the fuck out and I'm like really cannot move, like I'm vomiting.
Well, I personally have an exciting few weeks coming up. I'm working a wedding tomorrow, 11 hours, so that's exciting. And then I have 2 like big events in the next 2 weekends. So I am going into the city for a work event for my Monate business. I'm really excited. I'm spending the
You
night.
didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I'm telling
wait,
you
you did
now.
tell me that.
Well, I'm going in during the day and spending the night with my friend Maddie, and then we're heading to Massachusetts in the morning for our friend Emma's baby shower. It's like so
Aw,
weird.
We love you, Emma.
Yeah, it's what about Maddie?
No, Maddie too, for her baby.
Yeah. But it's so exciting. Like I'm like getting to the age where like friends are like having kids and stuff. So
Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Like I'm in the era of like my friends are starting to get engaged, and that's
Yeah.
fucking mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just babies.
Yeah. Well, you are young for that because like I just got married and I'm 6 years older than you, right? Yeah. But I have that, and so that'll be a fun thing. And then like a week or 2 after that, we're going to Nashville for our friend Abby's
I can't believe
bachelorette.
it's so soon.
So soon.
Also, love you, Abby.
Yeah. And then we're going, actually a month later, I'm going to Texas for her wedding. And then, yeah, lots
Wait, I
of
thought it was
rodeoing.
Georgia.
No, she lives in Georgia. The month after that, I'm going to California for
Jeez.
my friend's engagement party, my best friend. And then the month after that, I have my friend Sabrina's wedding in Key West. So it's a busy few months for me travel-wise. I have to still book 2 of those trips. 2 are booked, 2 to go. And then I really want to think of something fun to do for my 30th birthday. I turn 30 in June 5th. So if you guys have any suggestions for 30th birthday trips, I really want to go somewhere tropical. I want it to feel like relaxing. And
You
I
don't want
just
to have a party here?
no,
A house party?
I don't think so, because I really like, I don't do anything for my birthday. Like usually the last few years I haven't. I did used to want to go away like every year, and I did, but it's just been such a chaotic few years for me. So I really want to do something special for my 30th birthday though. So that is
Drop some ideas, guys. We give you all this advice for fucking free. The least you could do is give us a fucking...
yeah, I want to know like specific like resort to go to. Like
Yeah.
you should go
Be
to this
specific.
resort, and I want it to feel luxurious, but like
And-
not $4,000 a night.
And I think that we need a little more from you guys. You need to tell me, what do you
Yes.
guys like? A little more communication would be nice in this
Yeah,
relationship.
it's a
It feels
two-way
very
street.
one-sided.
Yes.
think
Yeah.
that's
Anything
it.
exciting coming up for you?
Oh, well, this one I was going to kind of keep to myself, but I'll share it.
Competition.
I want to compete once a month.
Okay.
So that way I can get over this like crazy hurdle in my brain that I've built up of like competing so fucking scary. So
All right. Well, that's cool.
yeah,
And we'll be in.
I'm
Nashville.
kind of like keep it to myself and like not tell everyone. So then it like also helps with that like anxiety that comes with it.
So you get the exclusive if you're a podcast listener.
yeah, you're welcome.
I'm excited for more podcast episodes, more vlogs, more content, and more relationship building with you guys, our loyal followers, listeners, friends. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of The I World.
Thank you, Winnie, for joining us for the last 5 minutes, looking very luxurious over here. Anything you'd like to say, Win? What was that?
Yeah, you're lucky I didn't bring Goku because his haircut
You
would have wiped you out of the
should've.
park.
You should have brought him. Maybe next time.
The cutest.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of The I World, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, sisters.
And don't forget to submit your
Questions,
comments, all the
Concerns, thoughts,
To the big
prayers,
sis chat.
stories.
Yes, give us a story. Give
Yeah,
us some
give
stories.
us something to gasp about, like something
Yes.
that's gonna make us fall off our couch. Oh no, not the zombie effect. All right, love you guys. Ta-ta for now.